Hey, welcome guys. As you probably know, on our YouTube channel Vineyard FX, we talk mostly about the Forex market and MetaTrader and our templates there, and try to guide you some profits and pips in the Forex market. But today, in this edition of our video series, we're going to get back to talking about Fidelity Active Trader Pro. So welcome aboard, Fidelity Fortune Hunters. We began this series several years ago based upon the fact there wasn't much available in terms of instruction on how to use the platform, and lots of people have commented and been kind enough to say they appreciate the information. So here we go again. We're going to talk about quote lists and how to build those. We're going to talk about how to slide screens over into a separate terminal screen so that you can increase your real estate. And we're going to talk about as many tips as we can cram into 10 minutes. So hold on to your hat and we'll get started right after this. Okay, fortune hunting friends, this is going to be partly review and partly new material, as many things as I can add based upon the questions we've gotten about how to, whether it's possible to increase your real estate, how you can build a quote list, how you can get around some of the limitations of the Fidelity platform. And so here we go. First of all, one of our questions from some time ago was whether you could get a couple of quotes on the screen at the same time. You do not, even if you take a look here at this one. This is a daily chart of Tupperware, actually. And we can see here that we had quite a bit of up and down action here on the daily chart. Recently, on this 78-minute chart, we have had an earnings report, and it's forced us higher here into the 29 area. So you can see the difference, and sometimes it makes it easy to compare things if you can in fact take a look at these issues. These are the last daily bars for this particular period here, and just as our first note of review, remember, if you see this particular history viewer icon right over here, you can either turn it on or turn it off. It's now off. If we turn it back on, you can increase the number of candles on the screen simply by doing this, and you can see the Tupperware is actually shot up since the July time frame, and just really has been pounding higher almost with every week and every earnings report for sure. So notice what happened here, and then again here, and then the third quarter earnings report that appeared at this particular moment in time. Okay, so now the situation is, you see that we have the ability up in this area here to either make the daily chart take up all the real estate here, right? Or you can downsize it entirely and get rid of it, and then it appears down in your tools in use area. If you didn't X it out, if you didn't cross it out and close it, if you just downsize it, it will appear here. So we'll left click, and you can see here are the two charts. We have the 78-minute up on the wall already, and if we click on this, left click on it, we'll get back to the daily chart, and then we can once again hit the middle button, and we have two that are of an equivalent size, and you can move those around. And sometimes in Windows, as you know, you can automatically size the multiple windows so that they all fit. You have to actually manipulate them here. You can do it any way you want so as to make your particular layout look appropriate. Now, up here in layouts, if you get to a position where you like what you see, we can simply click on one of these. I have this as my second and default layout. You can save it if you've made modifications. You can restore the last save. You can delete the whole thing with whatever, and you can play around and see some of the other layouts that were put in as a default list by Fidelity in the beginning. So once again, if you have a new layout idea, you simply click down here, and then you will be prompted to rename it and so forth. So that's that particular situation. Now, notice too also, and I'm going to actually expand this so you can see it better. I'm going to open my screen saver, my program. Whoops, sorry about that. I may not be able to do this in real time. Let's see what we've got going on. Yeah, no, it won't allow me to, but in any event, let's bring up something else here so that we can see. I thought I'd be able to do that for you in real time. Tools in use. Let's take a look at Daily Dashboard. Now, the Daily Dashboard can be pretty helpful to you. The news that hits the wire, which is good from Fidelity, and they're famous obviously for their research and so forth, gives you an opportunity to take a look at the timeline here. You can see that today is a day, it's the 12th of October, the day after Veterans Day, and we are in a downtrend based on probably new high levels of coronavirus infection and hospitalizations. That despite the fact we've had good vaccine news, means that we are potentially going to have a pause in this upside trade. But in any event, bottom line is, if you go to this bar here and right-click, you can do what's called float the window. So it doesn't matter what window it is. If you click float window, basically now this is free-flowing, and you can see I can move it directly over. Now just imagine that it's going to my second monitor, which is where I see it now, even though you can't. And bottom line is, you can bring it back at any time. The only thing you want to be a little careful of is if you go out of a two-monitor view, you want to make sure to bring back your other floated windows here so that they aren't disappeared when you try to find them in the future. Now, why is this potentially important? I would say that several of you have called in and written in and asked, what can I do? Is this the only way that I can see a bid list or a quote list if I want to collect some symbols? Now, typically I've been trading a number of technology issues with my options trades, but I have begun to look for some new symbols as we potentially are rotating out of technology a little bit, just to see what else could be available to me. For example, there was Tupperware. Here's Toll Brothers. And as you know, if you left-click on any symbol in this list, and if you add symbols to it by simply typing them in this bar up here, you will get the same landscape and layout that you would have with any of the other symbols that appear when you first turn on your machine. This is Toll Brothers. And basically, once again, we can come down to this area here, which we told you was the history viewer. We can pull it out so you can see more on the daily chart if you'd like. Once again, these earnings reports pull back into the bands, very capable earnings, pull back into the bands, and then you've got this nice move north, and that's what we've been telling you in a number of our other videos. But in any event, here we go. There's Toll Brothers, and you can, in fact, Monster Beverage, click and move as quickly as you need to. You may need to readjust this once again, so you'll see where you are with this particular thing. This now goes all the way back to that big run-up we had in July. Okay, but let's take another look at something else. We want to take potentially a look at quotes and watch list. This is something that you should be aware of for sure. If you have a watch list, I went here first to see if I could improve the situation, because obviously up in that up in that top area, and I'll move this window over here. Here you're sort of limited. Now, what I found when I moved into this is my tech symbols watch list that I began to create the other day. If you come down to watch lists in general, you can see that Fidelity will put in for you a futures one, so that if you want to watch futures or trade them, you can, in fact, do that off this list. If you come back to watch lists, they also have a very powerful indices list that's already pre-made for you. And you can see all the quotes. Now, the nice part about this, if we move over into this area and widen it a bit, let's take a look at how we do that. Pull all the way over to here, you can in fact see in this area a number of the different columns and things that you would like to manage. If you come to my watch list, which is tech symbols, you can see that that's also expanded. 52-week range, day range, whether there was news on that, and all you have to do is move to this area to see where you have a news item that's linked to that particular symbol. So quite powerful. Some kind of a notebook capability here. Real-time analytics, which you can add based upon the particular indicators that you like to use. It will key up and tell you when there's been a change in trend. And so forth. And also notice down here the slide bar you can move over, because that wasn't all. You can also see whatever the issues are. If you have purchased this security, it will keep track of your profit and loss areas. And very nicely down here, an earnings date will appear before you, so you can key in on when that next earnings is going to come in case it isn't showing up properly on your chart. Now, the other thing you can do, see, is by right-clicking here, you can adjust the columns, remove, add a new one, and here are the descriptions of all the opportunities that Fidelity offers to you in this area. So as you build this list, let's come back over here. Let's pretend that we would like to build a list of new symbols. Let's think just for a moment, maybe we would like to. We're not going to add or move or edit watch list. We're going to create a new one here. And it pops up. And so basically, let's say that we would like to do a mini list of the auto industry. We'll go with Tesla, and we'll add that. Well, maybe let's go, what's the matter? Create, find a symbol. All right, here we go. Maybe we have to put it down here. Sorry about that. Okay, now we've got GM just for fun. Plug it in. Hit the cursor, and there we go. And Ford. And so there we go. Now we're going to create our watch list. Okay, oops, I know what I wasn't reading properly. Sorry, the poor old eyes. Auto industry. My fault. Sorry about that. Now we create the watch list. And here we are. And we have the same columns as we've had on the others. We can see when our earnings are coming up. Obviously, Tesla's in January now, and so forth and so on. Now, the point I guess I would like to get to, and the one reason I was going to try to show you how to manage this with two screens, and even anybody in the Windows environment can have that two monitors set up quite easily, and most of you do, I know. But bottom line here is, if you wanted to keep track of this, the unfortunate part about this particular list, you can also create a heat map here, by the way. That's kind of fun. But bottom line, in this area, there is no way to link this with those colored links like you see here to your charts on the wall. So the bottom line here is, the best I could figure was to potentially slide this over onto the second monitor, and then I can check quickly to see what my symbols are and add them, but I have to do it manually. But it's at least one way to be able to see how this all integrates together and what is possible with the different screens and improved real estate with your bid and quote list. So I hope that's helpful to you. Keep working on those opportunities where we can have a nice profitable option strategy based on pullbacks into the bands. When we get into this area, we know we're in consolidation, so it's wise potentially to keep your hand on your pocketbook and on your wallet. But in any event, we will break out into new trends soon enough, and I hope you'll be there to profit from them. Thanks for watching, guys. Please check the descriptions down below this video to see if there are any other useful links for you, and I'll look forward to seeing you next time.